Today I am here to give y'all 3 scenarios that I have came up with in the last couple of days on how the Kyle Busch and the Toyota situation will play out heading into the 2023 season. There's a lot to talk about here, so let's get started.
I'm Chase Briscoe, driver number 14 Ford Mustang for Stewart Haas Racing, and you're watching William Blackwell on YouTube.
Option number 1 for Kyle Busch is to simply remain at Joe Gibbs Racing for the 2023 season. And I'm not saying beyond, and here's why. Heading into the 2022 season, Joe Gibbs Racing and Kyle Busch were now aware of the fact that Mars Candy is deciding to leave the sport at the conclusion of the 2022 season. And this left the team without much sponsorship heading into 2023, and Kyle Busch also. And they told Kyle, we're going to hunt for a sponsor for the following season. And now we're in mid-July, and nothing has yet been said on their hunt for a sponsor. We heard some rumors here and there about a big tech company, probably Yahoo who it was. They're very invested in the truck team, Kyle Busch Motorsports. They sponsored Kyle at Sonoma, a race he won at. John Hunter Nemechek this upcoming weekend in Pocono. Yes, they're highly invested in the truck side of things. Could that foreshadow something in the future with Cup? I don't know. And if this were to happen, I believe Kyle Busch will sign a 1-year deal with JGR. Because I think Yahoo, they're just going to test the boundaries before they go long-term with a sponsorship. They're going to go maybe partial schedule next year and be able to fund as many races as they can. I would say around 24 to 25 will be significant if you're a Kyle Busch or a Kyle Busch fan and hoping he stays at JGR. But besides that, if he doesn't bring in a sponsorship by, let's say, mid-August, you can very well close the book for the Kyle Busch and JGR journey. They won 2 championships, numerous wins, numerous Xfinity wins, but I believe if they can't find a sponsor by mid-August, that boat will ship. Option number 2 here is kind of a long shot, but not as big of a long shot as my third scenario. But scenario 2 is that Kyle Busch goes to RFK Racing, Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing, and replaces Chris Buescher in the 17 car. This past year, in the 2022 season, Brad Keselowski joined his team's driver lineup and also the ownership lineup alongside Jack Roush. The one and only Jack Roush. He's a big-time guy and celebrity when it comes to NASCAR fans and history. And with this addition, their hopes are to be contending for the championships around 2025 and beyond. It's not going to happen overnight with the next-gen car where they're just going to be right away clicking and going for the championship and wins. That's not going to happen. It's going to take time to develop and get used to the car and learn more about it. But if Kyle Busch goes over there, he can also bring some knowledge that he's gained from the past at Joe Gibbs Racing and mix it up with Jack Roush and also Brad Keselowski, who's been around the block with, let's say, Junior Motorsports, Penske, obviously, and James Finch in the 09 car. If all that knowledge right there, I am sure that 2025 deadline for RFK Racing to be competitive can easily turn into 2024 or hell, maybe 2023. This will be a great pickup here if they can do it, which I'm sure they will probably risk it because Chris Buescher is not doing that well, to be honest, and it really wouldn't shock a lot of people if they moved on from him. And moving on from him for Kyle Busch will seem like a very wise decision. But what happens to Fastenal? Do they stay on board with the 17 car, possibly Kyle Busch? Or they just simply say, hey, Brad, we're going to sponsor you. Get your sponsors, Kohar and so others, and guaranteed rate to sponsor Kyle. And we'll be all right. I think that's very unlikely, but hey, you can never rule it out. Now for the third and last scenario that I have, the one I believe how things will eventually turn out, it is that Kyle Busch will leave Joe Gibbs Racing at the conclusion of the 2022 season and will head to Stewart Haas Racing to drive the number 41 car. And a lot of y'all are saying, is Joe Custer with the team and his son Cole racing? Yes, that is true. But Cole Custer now has Haas tooling, and he doesn't really have a lot of negative things affecting his whole career. So with Smithfield leaving, possibly with Eric Amarola as he is in the retirement, do they stick around for another year and want to sponsor Cole Custer? Because I believe they will want to. And if that were to happen, I would believe that they would put Cole in a 10 car so Smithfield don't have to change up a lot of their things and mojo, and they're always sticking with the 10 team. So they can put Kyle Busch in the 41 car and keep Haas tooling on board, because I believe it is so late in the going that Kyle Busch is just not really going to find a lot of sponsorship out there in the market. It's impossible. And if there is something that pops up, I am sure a lot of companies will rather spend their money for 10 to 15 years on Kyle Larson instead of maybe 5 to 6 years of Kyle Busch. Crazy things are happening right now, and that's how I think that things will play out for Kyle Busch. But what's going to make it very interesting is who will replace him in the 18 car. Joe Gibbs Racing has made it clear. Every single team executive has made it clear lately. Ty Gibbs is not the plan to replace him if he were to move on elsewhere. Kyle Busch, that is. So if Ty Gibbs is out in the running, who are you going to put in that 18 car? Surely not Brandon Jones. He is not winning at all in Xfinity besides Martinsville this year. That's not happening. John Hunter Nemechek is not happening. He is not very competitive this year in trucks. And so it's got to be a big disappointment. If it was last year, I would maybe look into it. But this year, Chandler Smith is outdoing him. And I would consider Smith before anything Nemechek. But I believe they'll go for the next best thing, which is Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch is the driver of the 45 car for 2311 Racing. And hey, you're replacing a Busch brother with another Busch brother. So there you go, Kurt Busch in the 18 car, in my opinion. But hear this out here. Tyler Reddick will move from RCR to 2311 Racing. They will pick up his contract and get him a year earlier. A lot of rumors has been speculating that Tyler Reddick was going to get kicked out for the 2023 season by RC. And if all of this were to play out, it will make a lot of sense. And the 8 car will be fulfilled by either 4 or 5 drivers, in my opinion. One obviously being Ty Dillon, Richard Childress' other grandson, brother to Austin Dillon. Second driver, Austin Hill. He's a phenomenal driver in the Xfinity Series. He won Daytona. He won Atlanta. I'm sure he's going to win more as the season goes on. But Austin Hill at number 2. Number 3 will be Ricky Stenhouse Jr. For JTG Daugherty Racing, co-owned by Brad Daugherty and mainly owned by Jody and Tad Geschechter. A great team right there. But if Stenhouse can get the offer to drive this 8 car for next year, I am sure he would not hesitate and take the deal, because that team right there can win. Not like JTG Daugherty Racing, no hate against the team. They cannot go out there every single week and go for the win like RCR possibly could if they had the right driver. But obviously, you got to get back on track here. Driver number 4 will be Corey LaJoie. We saw what he did at Atlanta, nearly won the race. So obviously, he's going to be up in contention for the ride. And the 5th driver is a big unknown, but maybe you could put Sheldon Creed in. He's the other team's Xfinity driver, hasn't really done much at all. But yeah, those are the 5 drivers I believe that could take over. And obviously, Noah Gregson's probably going to be out the picture, because any day now, it's going to be announced that Noah Gregson will be going to the 42 car for Petty GMS in 2023. So he is kind of off the board. But there you go, my prediction there. Kyle Busch will go to the 41. Cole Custer will go to the 10. Kurt Busch will go to the 18 car. Tyler Reddick will go to the 45. And I would say Austin Hill will drive the 8 car. There's my opinions. Put your comments down below in the comment section, because I'm going to read them, and I really like reading them. So comment down below. I'll read them and probably respond back to you. So please like and subscribe.